Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Take a Stand. I'm your host, Tracy Wilson. I'm the author or co-author of the best-selling book, The She Myth. And today's show I want to share with you, which is just actually show number 2. It's episode number 2 of the Take a Stand movement and the actual show itself. And today I wanted to share with you some really important things. These are for the philosophies that actually underpin, the philosophies and the ethos that actually underpin what it means to take a stand. So there's 3 components to this. The components are you'll see them on the screen in just a moment. So these are like taking a stand, standing up, standing firm, and then standing out. So that's exactly what the show is all about. I thought I'd jump on today, and given that this is show number 2, last week I gave you a bit of an overview as to why I decided I would do this show. And I'm so pleased that I decided to, because over the last couple of weeks, I've also been doing another short segment inside of our She Myth book launch group. And in that group, I have had the opportunity to interview a number of women talking about their She Myth stories. And boy, oh boy, as I've been interviewing these women over the last few weeks, the stories that I have heard, that I've been privileged to hear and share with lots of people inside of our group, have been profound. And the fact that they've been also telling me stories about the fact that they've been reading the book and they've had some significant shifts, changes, transformations in their life because of the fact that they've read some of the material in the book. So this particular show stems from the She Myth book. So the pillars inside of the She Myth book that we talk through, being the ones that I've just shared with you, being standing up, standing firm, and then standing out, are all the things that I want to share with you also on the show. But not only is it going to be just me speaking about them, I'm actually going to have other inspiring, motivational women on the show who are going to be sharing their stories of triumph, where they've had challenges in their life, where they have been able to overcome them, where they have recognized that they have been duped by the She Myth and what they've actually done to overcome those. And then also sharing their stories and their actions and behaviors that enabled them to move forward with some level of confidence and tenacity to be able to get to the heights of success that they are at today. So over the next coming weeks, this show is running once a week on a Thursday, Brisbane time, 10 a.m. I will have a number of guests sharing their stories with me over the coming weeks. And if you are a woman who wants to step out of the shadows, wants to shake off any She Myths that you have succumbed to, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you do not know whether or not you have been duped by a She Myth, then I would highly recommend you continue to listen to the show, because what you will find is that as I continue to move through this and as I continue to share some of the other women's stories, you too will be able to realize that it's not a problem with you, that you have been duped by the She Myth. And when you get and when you realize and you understand that these She Myths have been playing out in your life and that they've probably corralled you into doing some things that maybe you didn't want to do, you will then realize that you actually have the ability to be able to shake them off and do something about it. So that is what the Take a Stand show is all about. So let's get stuck into what the heck do you mean with these underlying pillars that you speak of, Trace? What exactly do they mean? And here's the thing. I'm going to start with the first one, which is to stand up. So most people actually confuse standing up as something that they do because they feel fed up with something. So I'm absolutely had enough of XYZ, so I'm going to stand up and I'm going to take a stand and I'm going to say, I don't like that anymore and I want something different. So perhaps you've had enough and now you suddenly are willing to stand up yourself. This is actually not the type of standing up that I'm talking about. So I'm talking about when I say stand up, this is more like you standing up and being counted among your peers, being counted for the wonderful person that you are, for the authentic person that you are, bringing your warts and all, your stories, a massive amount of knowledge and experience to the table, and being able to stand up and be counted amongst your peers, and being able to then lock arms with those so that you start to shift the paradigm, because you start to believe in yourself. And when you start to believe in yourself, you then have the power to be able to then start believing in the sisters that you have locked arms with, and together you begin to rise. So standing up actually means unleashing your new potentials and aligning with your dream business, or I'm going to say aligning with your dream, not just business, but I'm talking about business, family, and your life in general. And the interesting thing is, as I've started to interview women on the She Myth Eliminator series, there have been so many stories come out that as young girls we grow up and we start to comply and do things to please others until we get to a point in our life where we go, that's not quite what I wanted. That's not what I have internally in my head as to how I want my life to be lived out. So this is about unleashing all of that, unleashing the new potentials, aligning with your true dream, not the dream of somebody else, your parents, your mum, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, and your grandparents. This is about aligning to who you are and being true to that, and being able to serve your family, your friends, your clients in a way that is very authentic, but is also has leadership qualities, that you're able to do it in such a way that you become a leader. And that enables you to move past all of those she myths. It is working with other women so that you can stand up and be counted with all of those whom are achieving success. So that's a stand-up piece. So I wanted to make it, to give you that distinction between our ethos and our philosophies around what does it mean to stand up. So it's not just about I'm fed up with something and I'm going to take a stand and I'm going to say something about it now. It's actually standing up and being true to who you are and what you believe in and living your life authentically in that manner. So that is part one, or one of the pillars that I will talk about in the Take a Stand show, and as part of the underlying ethos of what the movement in which I'm creating is all about, and what the show is all about. So if you're a woman who believes in that and you want that, then you're in exactly the right place, ready to stand up. Okay, part two of this, Take a Stand, is the Take a Stand piece. So this is also a really important key of the entire ethos system, right? Because it's a system, because it's a declaration. It's about you saying, I declare and I refuse to abandon myself. I refuse to abandon myself and buy into sometimes the BS of society and the other things that come into play, and the things that we have been taught to do that are so-called right, that leads you away from being authentically who you are. So this part in Take a Stand is about that declaration and the refusal to abandon yourself. It's like standing firm to your values and your entrepreneurial dreams, or the dreams that you have for your family or for your life, as I said. It's about remaining really solid, even though you might be hit with some criticism or the judgment of others. It's realizing and understanding that, and making let's call it a barrier between what you really believe and the thoughts and the judgment and the criticism and the fears of others, and being able to say, they're not my fears. That's not, that's their fear, their judgment. It doesn't belong to me. And being able to separate yourself from that. It's where you learn not to care about what others think so much. It's not that that you learn not to care, but it's learning not to take on so much about what others actually think, or allowing their thoughts to impact what you really want to do. It's about letting go of any habits or anything that we do that will shrink ourselves. I had an amazing guest on my show this morning, and she was telling us the story about how the things that she really wanted in her life, but she complied and she started to find workarounds so that she could be somebody who would please everybody else, somebody who could get the accolades and the recognition of others, because she didn't feel like she could stand true to who she was at that time. And as she's moved forward and as she's got a little bit older, she's obviously learned some skills and she's got very, very good at that now. But it's about, learning to communicate from a place of authenticity. It's an authentic kind of power, very different to being aggressive. So very different to forcing our way through things, but having an authentic kind of power that enables you to stand in your own power. It's about kind of like abolishing, or not worrying about your ego, not letting your ego get in the way. It's about polishing your place in the world by knowing who you are and living that authentically. That is where peace and happiness comes from, is when we can start to live life in a very authentic and meaningful way. It's about being discerning and being very intentional about what it is that we do. So the other things in terms of like standing firm, it's about, like I said, it's about learning to stand in your power. It's about using our inner genius and making a commitment to ourselves and to others that you can be firm without having to be rude or without having to be mean or without having to be angry. It's about being very centered in what it is that we are talking about. When you stand firm, you're actually helping others to learn how you like to be treated. It's about setting boundaries. It's about ensuring that you take care of yourself so that you don't deplete the stocks that you have and you get to a point where you find yourself in burnout. What you do when you do this, when you're standing firm and you create yourself some boundaries and you're not being pushed by your own ego, is it enables you to create the life, the quality of life, and the culture of friends that you want to attract into your business and into your life and also into your family. So that's the second piece. The third key in this process, or the third pillar that underpins the Take a Stand show and the She Myth and my philosophies, is take a stand. Is the system to actually stand out. So take a stand and you're going to stand out. What's important here to know is the key to standing out doesn't actually mean that you need to be bigger, louder, more, in people's face. It's not about any of that. But instead, we mean standing out means having a level of excellence. It means knowing what your level of excellence is and continuing to strive to achieve that. It's continuing to develop and to evolve. And it's about living a life with an attitude of what we call the champion. So if you take the time to read the She Myth book, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you hang around and you listen to more of the Take a Stand show, you will start to see the women that are sharing their messages on the show will all be champions. And when you can operate at that level, that level of excellence, where you are always operating from a place of being a champion, you will rise to the best person of yourself. And then you are able to hold that in your mind and in your spirit. And it becomes part of, it's who you are. You continue to strive at the highest level. Something that resonated with me was something that Michelle Obama actually said. And if you remember, some of you might have seen this, you might have heard her quote this. But when life hits you and and other people go low, what do? Well, we go high. And some might say, well, yeah, it's about getting on your high horse. And it's not. It's about just understanding what that level of excellence is for you and continuing to raise the bar and continuing to help your sisters in taking a stand rise with you. It's about lifting everybody up together. It's about being the example of excellence in your market with your products, your services, and the way in which you deal with your clients. What I'm going to say, it's not about a separation either. It's not about just being that in your business life. It's about being that across all of your life, being the example of excellence in your family, raising the bar, showing the way, being the mentor and the inspiration for your family members to also rise with you. And then it's also kind of really understanding why is this the best thing to do with your business? Why do we want to do this? And a lot of people would think, okay, well, if you're continually going to be, rising and striving for more, then you're going to burn yourself out. But I like to look at it in the sense that I'm somebody who wants to continually improve. I'm always looking for ways. How can I do this better? Even with shows like this, I go back and watch and I think I could have said that better. I could have done that a little bit differently. And so you're continuously having that mindset of, how do I continuously improve? Standing out is actually creating an experience. And that experience, like I said, I can talk about this from a business perspective, but I actually think that all of this, they all fit together. It's your business, your family, and your life. And if you can embody these three things, you can embody being able to stand up. If you can embody being able to stand firm on what it is that you believe in, and you embody taking a stand and standing out for something, that is how you can start to make a real difference with your own life and start making a real difference in other people's life. So I wanted to share with you that philosophy, because that is what I'm all about. That is what this show is going to be about. That is what all the women that will be on the show will be. We will be all singing the same tune. So if that is a tune that you would also like to sing, then obviously this is going to be a great show that I think you will really, really enjoy. So this is also about us being able to stand up and start making a change, not just for you, but also for our daughters and our granddaughters. And as you guys know, for those of you that have been following me for some time, I don't have any daughters. I have all sons, but I have a granddaughter. And I know that whatever it is that I do, I want to leave a legacy for her. I've only got one granddaughter at the moment. I'm sure I've got more to come, but for her and then the next generation and the next generation. And I know that if I can start making these shifts now, and if I can be a example of excellence and strive everywhere I possibly can in my life, then I can be the best possible role model for my grandchildren and their grandchildren and so on and so forth, and everybody else around me. So I'd like to invite you guys to continue to be on the Take a Stand journey with me, and to step up and stand out in whatever areas of life that you need to. I want to let you know that whatever's gone on in your life in the past, if you've been succumbed to the she myth, it's not you, it's just a she myth, and you have the ability to be able to shake that off and let it go. And if you read the book, we'll teach you how to do some of that. It's about being discerning, and it's about learning some very fundamental business and life skills that will enable you to navigate things without necessarily having to make workarounds. So that being said, now you understand what the philosophy is of the show and my philosophy around standing up, standing firm, and standing out. I'm going to be back on the next episode of Take a Stand next week, and we will have our very first guest. So you'll be welcome to join us and share her story and share the amazing things that she's actually done to overcome the she myths in her life, what it is that she's actually standing for, because she's doing some awesome stuff right now, and she will give you some tips, possibly even some tools to help you do the same. So I want to thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for listening to the show. That's what it's all about. This will also be recorded. A couple of places that you can actually find this show if you want to watch the replay. Because this is live, you're actually able to communicate with me. So next week when I have guests on the show, you'll actually be able to communicate with us and ask any questions. We'll be happy to take questions and answer them live on the show. The second thing is that this will also be available via a podcast. And if you head on over to Metadime Digital on YouTube, you can also find the playlist, which will have all of the episodes of the Take a Stand show right there, ready for you to binge, listen, and watch. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I'll be back again next week, Thursday, 10 a.m. Brisbane time, for another episode of Take a Stand. For now, go out there, take a stand, start standing up, standing firm, and standing out with whatever it is that you believe in. All right, bye for now. See you next week.